Come here now, girl.
Hello and welcome to WhatMap, your one-stop shop for everything workshop. I'm BonBonB and you're very, very welcome. Right, it's Monday. We're looking at the top performing available map on the workshop, and it's this one. And it's going to be a shiny one because it's a shiny creator. A creator we've done twice in the past, episodes 675 and 848, where they got 14 stars. Not 14 stars in total, 14 stars each time. Yeah, big creator. Probably better known for their themes because somebody, i.e. me, used Coosbay theme on Bonbon Island, and since then it seems to be used by absolutely everybody. So yeah, that one. Plus the Toulouse mission theme, very popular one as well. And I think today's theme, again made by the same creator, is going to be a big winner as well. But if you want to be a big winner, well, there's only one way to do it. You know, don't you? That's right, clicking that like button really does support the channel, gets me seen by more people and helps me grow a little bit more every single day. Thank you for your support. Today's map is Lake Thun, I think that's right, Lake Thun by VecchioChristo. VecchioChristo is back, and it's a good one. Of course it's a good one. There's your start square, based on a real life location in Switzerland, so we have the real life road layout, so not necessarily the most perfect for a Skylines build. There's your terrain heights, again based on the area. Resources are good and strong, plenty of fertile land as well, so it does feel like a farming map to a degree. And then if you've got Sunset Harbour and you want to do some fishing, your fishing map looks like that, which is perfectly fine by me as well. Okay, off to the workshop. What do we need? Well, it's a mass transit map. You will need mass transit for this one. And then there is a very nicely written description. Of course it's nicely written. Of course it is. A shout out to various mods. Some of them we won't be using today. And we'll cover that. We've got a few roads. We've got a few trees. And we've got a few props as well. Some of these made by VecchioChristo themselves. Including like wharfs and quays. The extended manager's library and the loading screen mod, I'm using the temporary one. No radioactive desert, I'm using Hide It. Prop Anarchy and extended managers I'm talking about in a moment. Railway Replacer is there. Shadow Castle is there. It's very nice. We're using the Lake Thun theme and the Swiss Spring LUT, both made by VecchioChristo as well. In fact, there's very little not made by VecchioChristo, other than maybe a few of the trees. Anyway, let's talk very briefly before we get into the meat of the map, and this map is going to score very nicely, so yeah, I can skip over a few bits. Extended Manager's Library and Prop Anarchy. This is the first time that I've been kind of like nudged towards switching from Prop and Tree Anarchy, Prop Load Fix, Prop Snapping, Prop Line Tool, all the things we were using before Prop Anarchy. I've had no reason to switch away from because I don't really do much in the way of building. I'm just reviewing. I've never really had a reason to switch, but they're listed as a requirement for this map. Now, there's a possibility, because I'm not using them, that there might be some prop issues. But I tried using them and my game died. And I've spent most of today, I'm recording this on Sunday, I spent most of today trying to get this to work. It's now very late evening and I've only just finished recording this show. Normally I get 3 WhatMaps recorded on a Sunday. And I am now 2 WhatMaps behind. I've got the viewer's choice to record this week. I have got to start work on the content creator pack for the maps this week. And frankly, I am massively behind now, having spent many hours. I haven't worked out how many at the moment. So you'll have seen during the intro sequence how many hours I've worked out. I've ended up spending working on trying to get this map to load. Here's our first intersection, a little dumble, very nicely done. It's all very nicely done. I'm just saying it. And we've got intersection marking tool and no controller as well, very nicely done. Nice lakes, very nicely done. So yes, so if there are any missing props or any prop issues, there's a possibility it's because I'm not using the correct prop anarchy. But the choices are doing a review, or having Cities Skylines running full stop, or not. So I apologise if there's anything not quite perfect because we're using the wrong mod, but there was no option. There was basically no option, and there was basically virtually no show anyway. We're lucky we're even here. So anyway, enough of that. I've covered that one. What to tell you about the map? Based on the real life location in Switzerland, beautiful area, beautiful rivers as well, and of course lots of beautiful detailing because VecchioChristo. We've got a lot of trees. A lot of trees, and so we're going to get a little bit of lag here and there, and we've got when I say based on the location, there are a few allowances made. I believe they say something about in the roundabouts have been made a little bit larger so that the game kind of needs it. So for game mechanics, I get that. And also the mountains have been shrunk a bit because the maximum height for City Skylines doesn't allow for the maximum height of the real life mountains. So the mountains are slightly smaller. Again, that's completely permissible. Completely permissible. And you wouldn't know. You look at the mountains on this map and you just wouldn't know that they weren't full size. They look perfectly good to me. So yeah, credit for that. Oh, do you remember that burn map? And I grumbled about the water in the start square and how I'd like to see a little bit more detailing. Something like this. Doesn't have to be overly done. Just something a little bit like this. And yes, Vecchios use their own keys. But yeah, just something like that. We'll have another look at it a bit later on. Left or right? I can't remember where we're going. Left or right. We're going left. We're going left up into the hills. We've got so many things to see in this map that I figured we'd just take this route. It's not really a route that you're probably going to be using much, but it's done with, again, with great standards. You get some really good views from up here as well. So all credit. Again, it's all credit. It's one of those all credit days. When you've got a creator that's managed to get 2 14-star maps in a row, or on top of anything else, you know that I'm going to be a little bit harder on them. Regulars to the show will know that that's how I work, right? If you're a lesser creator or a newbie, you get a little bit more leeway. You get a little more, you're not going to get given 5 stars for anything, but instead of getting you'll get a high 2 rather than a low 2 if I can. And with the top creators, I'm not throwing away those 5 stars. You're not just going to get a 5-star because you're VecchioChristo or Anapu Marinageru or Random 5. Actually, no, forget Random 5. They don't count. But if you were any... the better a creator you are, the harder I judge. And the more high grades you get, the higher I push that level. And so a few of you might think if I don't give all stars on this one, you might think I'm being a little bit harsh. You're comparing it with a map. It's not comparing a map for map. It's looking at the individual map on the day as I see it with the eyes that I woke up with. And of course, if I get out of bed the wrong side, if I haven't had any sleep, this is why I don't recommend that people just take my star ratings. Star ratings are there as a showcase thing. This is a YouTube show, okay? It's a YouTube. It needs a beginning, a middle, and an end. And we have all of that because of the star ratings. So, yeah. Leave you to... Shadow Castle. Let's take a quick look at this Vecchio mini asset of the day here. VecchioChristo's own work. Lovely thing. Lives there in real life. And I'm so glad they've made... Oh, wow. So glad they've made it. Thanks for sharing, mate. Thanks for sharing. Got a little bit of blue mantle going on here, just along the back of the key. And you may, in a few moments, notice what appears to be a little bit more blue mantle. I don't know if you should see it now, but you'll see it in the rivers or the canals under the water level. A little bit of possible catenary chaos here. Nothing too bad. I don't actually see anything in the middle of the rail lines themselves, but it's a little messy. But again, personally me, I'd switch the catenaries off. It's not something I'm used to, but I'm guessing in Switzerland we have them. I don't know. I'm not going to Switzerland. Why would I go to Switzerland? Chocolate. Ah, yes, good reason. Chocolate and cuckoo clocks. How generic. You probably think I'm sat here wearing a bowler hat, don't you? Yeah, it's what it is. It's what it is. And anybody Americans sat there with like a Colt 45. It's the only gun I know. Anyway, let's move on. Let's move on. Let's go get too stereotypical. Your Russians with your fuzzy hats and stuff like that. Oh, mind you, that's our British soldiers as well, guarding the Queen. The old fuzzy hats. Anyway, sorry. I digress too much. I'm losing my head here. The rail's fine. The rail is absolutely fine. It fits perfectly. It looks very nice, and it follows plentiful routes. We've also got some tunnels here and there, but we're not going to look at the tunnels really today. We're going to scoot across to an intermission very shortly. When we come back from that one, we'll do the shipping routes. Now, this is an internal lake, remember? Switzerland. What shipping routes? You're not expecting shipping routes, are you? Good. And we'll check for shipping routes, we'll check for water flow, and I'm going to show you a few of the lovely little feature areas, because we've got some very nice feature areas. Be right back after this.
Do you have trouble building on steep hills? Do your buildings continually glitch into or out of the ground? Then you need the Beginner's Guide to Building on Steep Hills by BonBonB. Click the information button now.
And so back to the shipping routes at Lake Thun by VecchioChristo. And we have one. And you know what? I think it's the right call. If you're not playing this one as the real life location, you're looking to do your own custom city on here, this is perfect. It's going to allow you to put docks and harbours down. If you're doing it as a real life build, you're not going to get any through shipping. It doesn't matter. It's fine. Does the job. Very happy. Water flow, we've got a spawn point right there, and then you have water flowing down the river as well. I would suggest grabbing the water from the lake for drinking purposes. In terms of sewage, this pipe here will have something to do with that one. Have a little look at that. That goes off to the edge of the map. We'll check that one out in a few moments' time. Map as a whole just looks and feels lovely. Plenty of lovely feature areas as well. Let me come down here. Can be a little bit of frame rate drop here. I'm sorry about this one. Just so many trees, and when you get down really close to them, what can you do? What can you do? Looks very nice. Very nice river. Very nice work going on, and a nice looking canyon. Big fan again. Big fan of VecchioChristo. Thank you, Vecchio. Thank you so much. Yeah, great work. Lovely, lovely work. If anything, my big grumble with the detailing on the map is we've got a lot of things to subscribe to. Maybe there should be more. But then, of course, maybe there is more. And because Prop Anarchy is missing, maybe there are things missing. I will never know. I can only rate it on how I find it, how I see it. But what I'm seeing here is very good anyway. Oh, have a little look over here. This is weird, isn't it? What do you make of that? I'll tell you. Apparently, taxiways. Airports DLC, if you're going to do that, try and do something with that. That's taxiways in real life. I had to go and check. It was shared over on Discord, but I had to go and check myself because I wasn't entirely believing. Loving these areas down here. Look out for little hints of blue mantle on the underside of the canals right there on the left now there. Yeah, there's one or two areas that you can see a bit of blue mantle under the water. What's going on here? Give me directions, mate. Yeah, right here and then left at the next one. All right, okay, yeah, cheers, mate. I'll make my way now and put it in gear, put it into gear, thank you, and off he goes. Are you just going to sit there in the middle of the roundabout now? Oh, good, they're letting... Right, so there's a potential for a little bit of stop-start traffic. We expected that because of the real-life location nature. You may want to upgrade some roads if you're going to do a custom-style city on it. Okay, loving these little lakes. These are very nicely done. Minor. Could have a little bit more detailing. along this damn feature type thing here. I'm not really buying into the foliage that's along there. It's okay. It's okay. It's not 5 stars. It's okay. There was effort made. Thank you. Over here, tiny little grumble again. These are all little things. Again, this is like the little squeezy extra quarter of a star out of me things. Big trees for me look weird on cliff edges when they're on their own. Let me come out of here because they have bigger root systems. If you get a smaller tree and put it on the cliff edges, it's slightly more believable that it could be. There, I'll just shift a couple of trees about there. So if I come back down the river here, that one's slightly more believable because the root system could be just tucked away a little bit. So yeah, just little things. Just the little things. A little bit of washed up wood on here. Again, this is just nice little detailing again. It's great creator. My grumbles are little grumbles. Okay, here, speaking of little, we have a little bit of overflow texture here from the pavement. That can be fixed using Node Controller very quickly. I have to point it out because I saw it. It just niggled me a little bit. And then we have wind turbines, which can only mean one thing. We have wind. But we have wind for a reason. It's not just for powering the sewage. Wait for the sewage dump. Can we get a look without without dropping into the hole? We have a hole there for the sewage. I like that. It just means for gameplay we are good to go. Well, the pipe's already down, so you only need to draw fresh water out of the lake and you've got a ready to roll city. I'm not saying about all trees on cliff edges. I did make a point of saying when you got one on its own, if you get a big cluster of them, it kind of just like makes the brain think, oh no, they're all intertwined with each other. So you can get away with it with a swathe of them. But if you just have one, it can look a bit weird. Just a bit. Like in the shape of this national road as well, through and the way it switches back. Again, I know it's based on real life, but I applaud the way that it's been done. Right, are we heading back down towards the start square? I think we should. We've got a very Swiss asset of the day. I mean, the most Swiss asset of the day you could possibly imagine. Here it is. It's the Brazilian Luxury Homes Pack 1 by Polygon. The Swiss part of Brazil. You know that bit. I'm just kidding. Factoids, because factoids. Going to talk about Shadow Castle because it's in here, you know. It's situated in Shadow Park. Apologies if the pronunciation is wrong. It was built between 1846 and 1854, according to the plans of Pierre-Charles Duzelon in the Gothic Revival style for the banker Abraham Denis Alfred de Rougemont. Since 1925, the castle has belonged to the city of Thun and contains a restaurant, the Swiss Gastronomy Museum, and between 1972 and 1992, the facade of the castle was renovated by the city's very own Quarrymen. The Quarrymen. What a great 60s group they were. Anyway, whatever happened to the Quarrymen? I know. Brazilian Luxury Homes Pack 1. I like this. I'm not so sure about the pool. I'm not a big fan of pool. Prefer snooker. Here today, Polygon tomorrow. Right, well, I think... Oh, hang on. There was one more little thing. A very little thing. Let's go up into the mountain. We see the snow. The snow. There is up here in the mountains a little snow melts lake. I just thought I'd... for those of you that like your snow melt lakes, I thought I'd share a snow melt lake with you. Right, okay. Right, pull the camera up, head back down towards a good location and ask you what you think of today's map. Is it a 1-star map? Is it a 5-star map? Is it somewhere in between? Your vote really does count. We use it at the end of the month for the Viewer's Choice Top 10. Will this be one of the top 10 maps of the month? Only you can decide. Hit the I button now in the top right hand corner of your screen or the link in the description. It will take you to the voting page where you can vote for free with a Facebook, Gmail, Apple or a Patreon account. But what do I think of today's map? Well, aesthetically, yes, it's very, very nice. It's right on point with how it should look, which is good. I'm wondering if there's a little bit more hiding because of the prop anarchy thing. I'm just feeling a little bit of a little lack of flair in some little places. But I can only rate what I see. And what I see is a very, very, very high 4-star map. It's still excellent. The detailing, again, I'm going to say exactly the same pretty much. Just want to, and those bits of blue mantle as well, I can only rate as I see it. I'm going to go for a medium-high 4 stars. And for gameplay, I'm going to go for a high 4 stars because just that stop-start issue with the traffic in that start square area will need. It's just the way that the map was meant to be anyway, you know. Lake Thun by VecchioChristo. They've done an outstanding job. It's the easiest seal of approval I'm going to be able to give for a long while. So we'll do that now. Thank you so much for sharing. That is absolutely beautiful work. And again, if there's anything that doesn't quite work, it's just the way that it is, I'm afraid. It's just the way that it is. I can't make magic happen. Well, I try. But poor lady got cut in half. I couldn't sew her back together. Anyway, if you're still here, you are part of the 20 and now elite, a true keeper, they would say. Use the word of the day in the comments to score yourself some population points just for fun. And I'll be back tomorrow, hopefully, with another What Map review. Thanks for watching.